Let me not. Okay. Oh, good. I'm not muted. All right, bro. Hussein, dog. I'm here. All right. I'm here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. We have exactly 12,000 subscribers. So I thought, why not do a classic on this channel? What will Vincent Kompany bring to Bayern? By the way, why do you have exams? It's summer. What are you doing, you dork? You got summer school or something? What's going on? First and foremost, congratulations to Harry Kane, hooray, for winning the European Golden Boot. Good for him. Who cares, bro? Who actually cares about this? Wow, this show is going to be jam-packed with action. We are going to go through just about every single aspect of Bayern. We are going to be talking about tactics. We're gonna talk about transfers. There's about 5 players with updates that I want to get out. So strap on, baby, strap on, like lesbians. Guys, hit the like button if you haven't. Okay, I didn't put ads on this stream. I'm not doing ads. I said it. I will not do ads for you guys, man. So if you don't want to see ads, hit the like button. But if I don't see these likes go up, I'm gonna start slapping ads 2 seconds into the stream. Yeah, bruh. Okay, I'm not gonna say bruh anymore because last stream someone was doing a bruh counter. I don't say it that much, man. Okay, well, let's get into this. Finally watching the stream from the beginning. Okay. So you're not one of those dorks that comes in halfway through. What are we talking about? Okay. When will Kompany be official? I don't know. Why haven't Bayern announced Kompany? Fabrizio Romano said everything was basically. I think there's a few more pieces of papers that need to be signed. Basically, Bayern have an agreement with Burnley, and it's done, right? Now I think it's just Kompany signs it and then moves to Munich. Sometimes the manager's probably just looking for a house. It's something as simple as that. But yeah, look, the last week or so at Bayern has just been crazy. I'd say the last year has been crazy. We went from Nagelsmann to Tuchel. Tuchel almost bottled the league to Dortmund, and we almost went trophyless. And then we start a new season. We lose the Super Cup to Leipzig. Was it Leipzig we lost Super Cup to? I believe so. Then Leverkusen just end up having a freak season. We lose so much, and we're fighting for second by the end of the season. We're out of every competition. We almost keep Tuchel, and we almost get Flick back. We almost get Oliver Glasner, and we end up with Vincent Kompany. Like, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. So, what do you guys want me to start with? Do you want me to start with a tactical board where we set players in positions and then talk about transfers? I think we do that, right? I think we go right here into the tactics board. We go right here. Oh, so Plettenberg said tomorrow or Wednesday. Okay, so expect that official Vincent Kompany announcement tomorrow or Wednesday. All right. Well, here's the team. I'm assuming Alphonso Davies stays. If he doesn't stay, then whatever. Now, the reason I have 2 players out of position or not non-existent is because I think we need players in those positions. And it kind of coincides with the players we're linked to and some big updates. So you want to watch the stream all the way through. This is just a standard 4-2-3-1. Kompany currently plays a 4-4-2 at Burnley, although I think at Bayern, we're not going to play a 4-2-3-1 unless he really trusts Matisse Tell. I think he's going to do something that works for the current team. He's going to go with a 4-2-3-1. And this is how I think it's going to line up based on the current players we have. Although of course, we have 2 positions that don't exist. I think he's going to go with Dyer and De Ligt. And the reason I say that is because they're the most stable. And De Ligt and Dyer kind of have a good relationship with each other. I think Kimmich's going to stay at right back. There's no Kimmich in midfield. This is how I think we're going to look. Just off the start. Now, let me get I'll put the opponent in. Let's just do a bunch of black things in here. Let's do this. We'll put the opponent in here. We'll put the opponent in a 4-4-2, right? Why not? 12th man is always the fans. Let's just do this. Yeah, okay. So we'll put the opponents in a 4-4-2. Am I tripping? Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, there's an extra number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep. Okay. Let's take out the number 7. We don't need that. Okay. Actually, well, let's put the number 7 back. Bring the 13 to midfield and take out the number 6. All right. Okay, so this is the opponent, right? Let's say this is the team we're playing. And let's say I'm just bear with me here, boys. Let's say a team's playing 4-4-2. Or it's usually looks like this. Okay. Cool. Right. Now, let's say we have the ball. Oh, what do you guys think? Do you think Neuer's just going to be our number? Of course, he's going to be our number 1. I don't think there's a better goalkeeper in the world when it comes to ball distribution than Manuel Neuer. His ability to calm games down. I mean, look, that mistake against Madrid, it can happen to anybody, but it was a bizarre moment. Okay, the first thing we have to note about Vincent Kompany is that he's a mini Pep Guardiola. In fact, a Burnley winger. Let me read this really quick. Let's read this very quickly here. There was a Burnley winger who was giving his opinion on Kompany. Oh, not that story. That's a spoiler. Dang it. Okay, Darko Chimalov, something like that. So he said he's very ambitious, always tries to get the most out of his players in every training and every game. I think he'll also do that well at Bayern. He's had a lot of success as a player, which also has an effect on his players. He has a winning mentality, and that would be good for Bayern at the moment. I believe a lot in him. He's a great coach, and I don't think he'll have any problem working at Bayern. He's also excellent from a human point of view. That's good. So he's already better at Pep at something, being a human being. When I was sick, he came to the hospital and visited me. He'll always have a special place in my heart. He worked for years under Guardiola. He's simply from the Guardiola school. He brings everything that he learned from Pep. He tries to develop his players in a very detailed way. He also works very well with young players. I think he'll do great things at Bayern. So that's a Burnley winger who's on loan at Schalke, talking about Vincent Kompany. Now, the most important concept of Vincent Kompany's system is that he builds up with a back 3. So there's 2 things that could happen. Either we have a midfielder, the number 6 will sign. I know we have 2 number 6s on the field, but that's just because Kimmich has that number right now, but he's a right back for us, and he's going to stay there, right? Either this happens, and I think that's more likely, and then Pavlovic goes here, and then Kimmich goes here. This is how I think the back line is going to look from the build-up. And then Davies is going to be like a winger. This is what I think is going to happen, guys. And I'm not opposed. So we have a number 6. It's not an extra center back. Someone said Dyer could go back to playing in the DM position, but that's not true. We are looking for a DM that can play company ball. What we want is someone like Rodri. And I'm going to do this and it's going to look weird, but just bear with me. This is Rodri. This is the profile of number 6 we are looking for from that buildup. And it's usually going to be spread like this, right? This player is going to, kind of just stay around this area. And then Kimmich is going to invert. Davies is going to go really far out. So let's say you have these 2 strikers pressing, right? And their team is the opponent is really pushed up on the Bayern players. This is what we're looking to achieve. Kane's going to drop. Him and Musiala are kind of going to drop into these, or be willing to drop into these pockets, take turns. Our wingers are going to just stay wide. And this is what we're looking to achieve. perhaps Kane on this side and Musiala on that side. So this is the basic structure of how Kompany wants us to build up. Right? He wants our one fullback to be really high and one of them inverted. At Burnley, in his first season, he had Maatsen, who's now at Dortmund. Apparently, Bayern are linked to Maatsen. I think that's only going to happen if Davies leaves. I think Davies will sign a new contract because no one seems to be bidding for him because they saw how bad his last 2 seasons or 3 seasons have been at Bayern. And if I'm Alphonso Davies, I would swallow the humble pill and stay at Bayern. That's what I would do. I don't respect anyone who wants Sané to stay. I didn't say Sané stays. I said he's going to stay. Well, look, I think we need a new left winger. Ideally, look, I know this is funny, right? And it's going to look really weird. I don't know what number he wears at City, but this is what I'd like. I would love this. I would love Bernardo Silva. We were never going to get him, right? It's funny because I'm just putting City players on here, but I'm doing it for a point because we're going to play like City in that, Pep Guardiola, like, oh my gosh, not Gnabry, Grealish. I don't know what number. I think Grealish actually wears a 10 and Bernardo wears a 26. Random. No, that was Mahrez. I don't know. Let's just do it. What is Bernardo? My gosh. What does Bernardo Silva wear at City, bruh? Oh, see, I said bruh again. All right, it's 20. Okay, that makes sense. It's like double the 10. This is what I think our aim is. I didn't say we're signing Rodri. I said profile like we want someone who is similar to Rodri. So Matisse Tell at the wing, chant with me. We're not chanting that because I don't think Tell's going to play in any wing position if our manager is Vincent Kompany. This makes a lot of sense to me. So once again, let's do this, okay? Let me take out the City players. I'm just bringing them in for profile, not because we're going to sign them. So City fans, don't cook me. All I'm doing is putting a team out there. So our opponent is playing in a 4-4-2, right? Now, our number 6 starts off in midfield, and this is how we look on paper, right? This is how we look, a 4-2-3-1. And based on the players we have here, this is what I think we're like. Let's say Davies stays, right? Let's say the players we have now are the players that, well, let's say we don't sell, Kimmich. Let's say Kimmich stays, Davies stays. This is how I thought we were going to play. So maybe someone walked into the stream and thought we would be playing a back 3 under Kompany. I don't think Vincent Kompany is ever going to do that. Never. All I said was, in the build-up phase, your number 6 is going to drop, and I thought that number 6 would be like a Rodri profile player, someone comfortable on the ball, but also ready to break up play. That could be Andre Onana. Not sure. Kimmich is going to invert, like take up the number 6's position. Our fullback is going to take up a very high position, almost like a winger. And our supposed left winger is going to tuck inside into the half space. Kane and Musiala are also good. So Musiala is going to take up a central role, right? And Kane's going to be willing to drop back, but kind of like they're going to be playing deeper than usual, right? And Sané is going to hold the width. So it's going to look something like this, right? Let's say the ball goes out to Dyer. He's not looking to go, oh, Davies next to me. He's looking to create these passing sequences. Where is my arrow? Oh my gosh. All right, here. Bruh, I want my arrow. I want to draw, man. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, I got it. So Dyer is going to be looking to get the ball. Oh my gosh. I have to do it the opposite way, right? Okay. He's going to be looking to get the ball around here. Like the pressure is going to be on, right? Their midfielders are going to kind of tuck in, create like a weird U, right? Let's say this is what we're dealing with. So the team is pushed back this way. So Dyer's going to be trying to get the ball into make believe Rodri's feet. And the goal is feed the ball into the midfielders, hoping that they are not bombarded with pressure. If they are, you try to rotate. We're not trying to go out wide, right? Notice how that's not going to happen because you have your wingers high. Now, of course, this is going to happen where someone drops back, but that's not the goal, right? If the opponent presses really high, of course your wingers are going to drop. But you would probably want Kane to drop here. And you'll see that a lot. Kane will drop and Musiala will run in behind him, or Musiala will drop and Kane will stay high. Or both of them drop, right? Because maybe the opponent really tries to push us back while we're playing, but then you leave space out for our wingers, right? I don't think Davies is going to be used in the buildup it's unless it's against a team that presses high, so he can kind of get out of that pressure. So basically, we're going to play in a way with a lot of numbers in the center, right? If you look at the box I'm going to draw now, look at this. It's going to be all central play. And it's very important that you have a number 6 who can move the ball from one side to the other, not long balls, but with simple ground passes or cut between the lines. So the half spaces are going to be really important. Now, let me just go back here and get the team back in order. Let me know if you guys are enjoying this. I can't read the comments. Let me read the comments. Are you guys enjoying this? Are you guys enjoying the tactical board? Because I had to read up on Kompany to kind of understand. Because I don't watch Burnley, bro. No one's doing that. Real G's don't watch that, bro. We're not watching that. So let's kind of set this team back up, right? I mean, obviously, Kane and Musiala are going to be a lot closer to each other. But Kimmich might also come up. Like, let's say the buildup is more advanced. So that's building up out of the back, right? Once we get out of that first wave of pressure, let's say, the opponent is now pinned back just slightly. This is how I think we're going to look, right? We are going to look like this. Musiala will rove around or Kane will rove around. And I think that's the goal, right? It's to use these spaces. Pavlovic is going to be important because he will be a trigger for how we're playing. If he drops here, Kimmich has to kind of take up a central position. If Kimmich drops, Pavlovic has to, like, you kind of see it, right? But the goal is your DM is kind of going to almost be a third center back in the buildup. So let's say this is what we have, right? Obviously, their DMs are going to, probably end up taking deeper spaces. Obviously, I am also I can't imagine this in a game. Like, it's going to be faster than this, obviously. But, it might also look like this, where Pavlovic and the number 6 are kind of just, they're drawing a line, right? And then Kimmich's just kind of in these spaces, right? And then you expect that your winger can drop into these spaces. You see this pattern with City. You'll see, their center back pass right into Grealish's feet. And you're like, where did Grealish come from? He did this, and then someone took the space, right? So you're going to see a lot of these rotations. But the goal is, look at the half spaces we're going to use. We're going to be creating a lot of space in these areas, right? That's where our advantage is going to come in because most of our movement will be around the area, right? Let's say Kane takes up this position. Musiala is here combining with Sané, and maybe he's here. And then Sané runs in behind. Or Sané gets the ball. Oh, I don't know why I need that ball. Sané gets the ball, and Musiala is in behind, and these runs just come out of nowhere. And next thing you know, Davies is scoring back post. So we're going to try to create a lot of these sequences in between the lines. It's going to depend a lot on how intelligent Musiala can be, right? But it all happens with who our DM is. We need a very important DM who's comfortable in possession. Either you get a really good DM who's comfortable in possession, or you get two really good number eights. We have Pavlovic, who, in my opinion, is a facilitator. So even he could drop. And let's say you go and get a number eight. Like you just trust Kimmich and you get a really good number eight. That could be the case. But you need a lot of good qualities on the ball. You can't play what Kompany's trying to do. Oh, let me take off this arrow because I'm tired of it. There we go. I don't want to. Yeah, there we go. So you need a lot of good, technically gifted players around these regions, right? And you want this front five because that's what it's going to be. To one, when they move into these positions, they get the ball, right? We're not doing direct. We're not going to be doing long passes over the top to Kane. Never. So we need a really good facilitator. I think Pavlovic is that. But then if you're going to use Pavlovic deeper, then you need another good on the ball player. The reason I would have said Pavlovic here is because at least if the DM is not that good on the ball, these passes are simple enough, you would think, right? So when Pavlovic gets it with a little bit more pressure around him, he can kind of just pick off passes, right here, or Davies can make a pass around or make a run and then the pass around. So I think that's the basic principle with Kompany's system. It's basically half in between the lines overload, lots of rotations from players who make small movements to generate space behind that press. And then the goal is for your center backs, instead of just trying to hit these, like under Nagelsmann, Upamecano would probably try to hit this pass directly to Musiala. But under Kompany, we're probably going to have a situation where our number 6 gets the ball, right? And he tries to look for Pavlovic right next to him or to Kimmich, or Kimmich might drop and maybe the 6 goes up, right? So you're hoping for a lot of these rotations, or Kimmich might come back here and De Ligt takes a central role, right? Depends on the game, or De Ligt goes to the left and Dyer, who I think is better with these simpler passes, can go out here, right? And your goal is to just try to facilitate small little passing sequences and create triangles. Notice how we have triangles all over the place. We have triangles. We're creating triangles. This is a triangle. This is a triangle. Like that's the goal, right? This is a triangle. Jeez. It's got triangles all over the place, man. Oh, I don't want to delete that stuff. All right. Okay. Now let's talk about transfers. Someone said less sideways. Oh, let's talk off-ball pressing in the opponent's half. Okay. So, oh my gosh. How could I forget pressing is probably the most important part of our game. So the opponent, it depends. Like, so let's say they're playing up from out of the back, right? Their goalkeeper has the ball. Let's kind of set this back up. Then we go back to a 4-4-2, right? Then we're back to a defensive 4-4-2. Let me just put Rodri aside for a second because it's confusing me to move too many players at once, right? Let's say they're trying to build up out of the back, right? And maybe this guy's here, and they're just trying to build up out of the back. So Bayern would probably we defend in a 4-4-2, and the goal is you kind of let your opponent. Oh, let's go here. Yeah, you let your opponent have the ball with their center backs, right? You kind of let these passes happen. The areas you really want to control are the midfield area. So you notice by playing or defending in sort of like a 4-4-2, it allows a lot of good pressure to be applied in these areas, right? And if Kimmich pushes up, it's very hard for them to play through and just ease out. Pressing is a lot harder to draw out because it's sort of random sometimes. Like one player goes and the whole team goes. So players kind of pick the moments they want to really put the brakes on. Unless you're Hansi Flick's team, then you press every moment. So it's going to depend on where we lose the ball. Let's say we're attacking, we lose the ball. It's very easy to see what a counter press would look like, right? Let's say we were attacking, right? They had all these players back. Let's say maybe Kane lost the ball here, right? He lost the ball to this guy. Their number 3 should be like around here defending. Let's say Kane lost the ball, right? We were attacking. Um, it's hard to put these things. Man, I wish there was like a way to make this easier. Right. Then you would expect our counter press to look something like this, where we just immediately put pressure on the guy who took the ball off. And then our center backs push up, and we would hope that Davies has the recovery pace and Neuer can kind of defend this region, right? With his runs out of the box if they go long to one of their wingers. So we're the thing is, we're just trying to kill any momentum from this guy, because if he gets his pass off and then he passes it away, then we can kind of structure ourselves. So we're trying to slow his decision making. But if he's a baller and he just turns and passes to the 7, we're kind of screwed unless Delit or Dyer, if he's on this side, can make the run, and Davies has to make the run. And we're hoping Neuer can combine with them and create, some sort of defensive fortress, right? By coming outside if it's a long ball that needs, control. So, it depends, right? But that's how we're going to be playing. We're going to have 5 players in attack, meaning we have enough numbers to counter press if we and when we do lose the ball, right? So let's say Musiala has it and he's driving inside, right? He's doing what he does best. He's driving inside, and he has a center back next to him, right? And it's a very that one of those kind of Musiala moments. Like, let's say one of their strikers is up here and he loses the ball, then obviously Pavlovic would close down his player. Davies would already have been up, right? And then this player would go. So we would try to press almost like a man-to-man and just overload them and rush their decision making. If they pass back to the keeper, then we have time to reorganize into that 4-4-2. So it's going to depend on how much energy our players have. And so we can't afford to lose the ball in stupid areas. We have to be careful. That's why Kompany doesn't do full on vertical, like just passing between the lines. You do the side to side, and when the opponent doesn't expect it, you speed it up and use the half spaces to create chances. So that's our pressing structure. Does that kind of make sense? Man, hey, Kompany, bro, you're gassing me up, bruh. Because under Tuchel, we really had no idea what our structure was. Sometimes we'd have a back 3 in build up. Sometimes we'd have a very wide, system, right? Kimmich would do this, and Davies would also overlap, and we would have Musiala next to, like, we just did too much. And then we try to get our midfielders to get on the ball, but they were always getting pressed. And it seemed like we just could not find any system that worked to get our team on the ball, right? It was like there was just no rhythm. Like Neuer would pass, and these players would try to get the ball to each other, and then maybe they try a long pass, or maybe Pavlovic would go here, Davies goes here, he gets the ball from Dyer, and then he tries to go, but then there's already a man that, like, we were just basically going with the motions. So that's different with Kompany. There was no structure to it, and just like you said, it confused the players. Some actual identity, yeah, it might be fun. It's going to be fun. It depends on how well he can implement those things. We need consistent wingers. Yes. Okay, guys, let's go into the transfers. So what will Kompany bring here in terms of transfers? Obviously, Bayern were already linked to Asan Ardiago, who is a half Burkina Fasoan coming in from Schalke. And it looks like Bayern want to, buy him and then loan him back out. Leipzig were in the race. I think Milan clubs were in the race. I don't know if English clubs were in there. But this guy's kind of touted as like the next Pogba, where he's just tall with enough technical qualities to make up for that height. I don't know. Look, obviously we'll look at a player like that and go, wow, phenomenal. But we have to understand, like, we can't place all that like energy on him. I don't truly know if he's the complete, like, he's more of a box to box. That's what he is. He's like a Goretzka with ability, right? He's Goretzka, but with the ability to carry the ball and that Bellingham like game attitude where he can just kind of do stuff on both sides, right? He can come defend, he can come attack. So he reminds me of Bellingham and Goretzka put together. He has a good engine. So that's the kind of player we'd be signing, right? Someone who's tall and has that ability. But we don't know if he's going to adapt to Bayern. So keep him on. I wouldn't even keep him on loan at Schalke. I would immediately get him on loan to a good club, right? I'd send him to Bologna. Like, we got to find a sister club that we can loan our players to that we know is always going to play them. But yeah, that kid can be really good with the right trust and the right system. So that's one link, right? And it looks like the deal is going to be done very shortly. I think Fabrizio Romano actually said Bayern are clear favorites. So no one's in that race but us at this point. Negotiations are at advanced stages. So that's a player to be excited about, but that's not a player that's coming in right away, right? So you guys want to know about players that are coming in right away. Okay, well, we can get started. We are linked to, or we're the latest club to show interest in Nico Williams, who is Inaki Williams' younger brother. He is the player at Athletic Club in Spain. He's a winger, and he's kind of like a Kingsley Coman. I wouldn't say he's like Coman in everything, but he kind of reminds me, like, he's pacey, he's black. That's the comparison. I don't know. I think he's like, I mean, I haven't watched the Spanish league enough to really know everything about him, but I don't know. He's pacey, like explosive, and bro, I just want Jack Grealish. I want Varaskelia. I want Bernardo Silva. I want intelligent wingers. I'm not just looking for explosiveness, man. I want someone who already comes in with the ability to make game decisions. That's what I'm looking for. Right. I mean, you need, of course you need someone with that explosion, but I feel like that's Leroy Sané. Right. I like players that take players on, but I want him to have a plan. So I'm not really intrigued by this. I want Vincent Kompany to get a bunch of intelligent players, man. Of course, you got people who call anything generational. Bro, he's not generational. Like, you guys just, you move mad on everyone, bro. You see a player and wow, generational. Like that, those words just mean nothing these days. Oh, he likes to dribble. Oh my gosh, he's the next R9. Like, he's the next Ronaldinho. No, you have to have something else about you. I want you to have good game decision making. I want you to have good finishing. I want you to be a good chance creator, good facilitator in attack. That's what I want. So I'm also not intrigued by this, right? In addition to Nico Williams, Danny Olmo is another Spaniard on Bayern's list for this summer. He has a release clause, 60 million. Not what I want. Danny Olmo is mid. He's average. I don't want that. Here's someone that I do think is interesting. Brian Gruda. Someone that I think has that like X factor. Left-footed, right? He's left-footed. That's probably the most important aspect of a winger these days, right? But he's slow when it comes to, he looks slow, and that's what I want. I want to see that chill. He could be the next thing. I like the fact that he plays at his own pace, right? He doesn't overdo it, and he's technically just sufficient, like proficient, and he's intelligent. So please, like, it's funny how we're linked to these explosive, bro. Get me someone who just like does some simple things really well. That's what I want to see. Someone who does simple things extremely well, because we have the explosive Kingsley Coman, who also happens to break his body every 2 days. I thought Gruda was actually older than this. He's only 21, 19. I thought he was 21. He's 19. Bruh, he has time to develop, man. Nah, bring him to Bayern, man. I want someone with, like, someone who has an idea when they get the ball. We need that. At left wing, right? He can also play in the middle. That's the versatility I think a company team needs. So I would immediately sign him. How tall is he? He has that low center of gravity look. He's 5'10. I think he's probably a little bit shorter than that. Nah, man, bring him to me. Because that's the kind of player that leaves the Bundesliga and goes to like an Aston Villa, and they look really good, but you're like, come on, why'd you leave and go to Aston Villa? You could have gone somewhere better than this, right? But the thing is, like, you get these kind of players that just they don't have the biggest name, but they have like that I'm him attitude where it's like, okay, they can change games for you. So I would go get him. I would sign him. He can be a good left winger, or sorry, right winger, who can cut inside, who has that game intelligence, who can, you know, I don't know. He's cold with it. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see like Vitz. I want players like that. I don't want to see these passion merchants, bro. These like this other guy we're linked to. His name is Dao or something. Like he's in the French league. What's his name? Boys, put that boy's name in the chat. Dowie or something. Desiree. Yeah, that guy. I don't want to see that. Like he's just anything. That's the problem with these players, man. They're anything. They have flair. No, I don't want to see that. I want to see intelligence. Maybe this Dory guy is pretty decent, and I'm just hating for no reason. But I just know when I see players and their highlight reels just push the ball past someone and run in behind, I already know they're not what I'm looking for, man. I already know. Yeah, there we go. Buy world class CAM and move Musiala on the left. I think Company wants something like that. Because look, Musiala is so gifted on the ball. It's horrible to have him, you know, it's horrible to have him in that kind of weird position. So they're saying that Gruda's price would be, wow, 50 million, and Mines are going to charge that because he's at the same level. Well, because he's now ahead of Sane at the same age. And Sane was sold by Mines, by the Mines football director who was at Schalke for 52 million. So he's like, hey, you would have to pay the same kind of money for Brian Gruda. Nah, man. I mean, I would probably just unsettle Brian Gruda and just be like, yo, force a move out, bro. Force a move out. What are Mines gonna do? They can't do nothing. He's gonna want to leave. And now you're gonna what? You're gonna risk getting him out or losing him on pennies? So this is how we have to be toxic in the transfer window. Yeah, I'm really excited, man. I'm excited for Company. I think we need to give Company players that fit the kind of football he wants to play. Very intelligent footballers, players that make runs consistently into spaces. Like, that's what we have to do, man. Buy Tony. Tony's retiring, bro. What do you mean buy him? Company has an MBA, so he is. Yeah, I mean, of course, like he's smart. By the way, there was a story about how Vincent Kompany is going to decide on Daniel Peretz. So he's going to decide on a loan deal. That's interesting. Look, Company wants to. If Company wants to keep Peretz, then the club would reconsider. So they want to loan Daniel Peretz. Why did we sign Peretz if we're never going to give him a chance? Why don't we just terminate Ulreich's contract and keep Peretz. It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. Hey, that Champions League finals. I hear Dortmund fans are pooping their pants right now, man. My gosh, look at that mistake from Upamecano, man. Oh my god, chat! I have seen the worst thing ever. They're showing me an Upamecano clip where he passed the ball to the opponent in our 6-yard box. Nah, get him out, man. Get him out. Get him out of me club. Speaking of British accents, Ethan from the Bayern View, appreciate it, my man. Hey, he did a video. Oh, I already talked about that yesterday or the other day. But with the turf cast, I watched that whole thing through because they were telling me everything I didn't want to hear. This man was like, "Company's stubborn." You know, one of those things where, like that meme where you keep hearing bad news over and over, and it's like, pow, pow, you just keep getting shot. That's how I felt watching that. It's like Company's stubborn. Company signed a bunch of low IQ players. Oh, I don't know. Well, look, it's a weird risk, but could work out. Like we went through tactics. You know, we should be excited for what we can do. Now, what we need to do is raid Man City and sign 2 or 3 players from there. I want Jack Grealish and I want Bernardo Silva. If we can't get them, sign similar profiles. Upamecano can't handle the big stage. Look, that's the truth. His nerves, he doesn't have good nerves, man. Sometimes in life you can be good at certain things, but when those moments come, you have to have good nerves. I have a dream that Real Madrid win, but Dortmund lift the trophy. What? That's crazy. What do you mean? I'll be streaming in 20 minutes? All right, my man. Yeah. Let me start. When you start that stream, I'll end this one. And we could host you. George doesn't like Doku. He calls him a bum. Someone said we should sign Doku. Who said that? Nah, man. Who said we should sign Doku? Nah, you guys are outrageous. Bro, he's the lowest IQ player I've ever seen. Nah, don't do that to my chat, bro. Anyone bringing Doku energy in here needs to. Bro, Doku's horrible. Guys, why don't we have 100 likes yet, man? Why aren't you guys showing no love, man? Like, show some love, man. Show some freaking love. Hit the like button. We got to hit 50 likes at least. I'm not even putting ads on this stream because I know you guys have 2-second attention spans. You just end up leaving. Doku is basically Coman. Yes, he is. That's all he is. Pace and power. I don't even know if he has power. He just has pace. And yeah, I mean, minimal technical qualities. It doesn't take much to just strike the ball past someone. By the way, as we were talking about Kimmich, the reason I'm confident Kimmich will stay is because Flick appreciates Kimmich a lot, but a potential move to Barcelona is not a hot topic. Bayern remains Kimmich's first point of contact. So far, concrete talks with Bayern have not taken place. The full focus is on the Euros. Several clubs are interested in Kimmich. Hey, if they send 80 million, I'll accept the deal, bro. I wouldn't even like. I was gonna say I'll have my eyes open. Nah, I will accept that deal. Kimmich's finished, and that kind of money is it's generational wealth, man. Nagelsmann had some things to say about Vincent Kompany, and it feels like Kompany, in a way, is like Nagelsmann, but simplicity is the key. Kompany's just replicating a very effective formula, and Nagelsmann tried to reinvent the wheel. He says, I don't know him very well. I've only read what Pep and others have said. He has plenty to do at Bayern and can express himself. It was a long search. I wish him all the luck for it to be successful. So that's Kompany. By the way, the news sources say Uli Hoeneß and Karl-Heinz Rummenigge wanted Hansi Flick back. So those two actually agreed for once. Usually it's Cali with the good opinions, and then Uli Hoeneß just wants us to keep playing fossil dinosaur football. But we're good now, man. We are good with Kompany. Because if Company succeeds, man, then it's a Max Herbal masterclass. We'll talk about this 5 years from now and be like, man, remember when no one thought we should have signed Company and we signed him and he did well? But if he flops, obviously we would enter our banter era. And it's only fitting that Harry Kane came from Spurs to bring the banter era to Bayern. What are you smoking? How are they going to find 80 million? They don't have money to buy Cheetos from the supermarket. Bro, they sent a bus to pick up Hansi Flick because they couldn't afford plane tickets. Crazy, right? They brought an Uber to drive Flick to Spain from Germany because these guys are broke. So you're right. You're right. You are right, my friend. Yes, you are correct, my friend. Sign Martinelli. He doesn't start anymore. Yeah, okay. Let's sign another unintelligent buffoon who keeps his head down while dribbling. Bro, you just went back on everything we agreed on, man. To be honest, Bayern should. Our injuries are sign Martinelli. Nah, dog. You're not. You're tripping. Xavi Simmons might be the better option right now since Vitz will be expensive. Similar profile to no. Xavi Simmons is nowhere similar to Vitz, man. Xavi Simmons works in a really counter-attacking team. Vitz works in a possession-oriented team, which is what we're going to be. So I would sign Florian Vitz. Simmons is like really good on the half turn, just pushing the ball forward and picking that pass, or usually he'll miss the pass, but it came close, so he gets the credit. I don't know. I like Simmons. I just don't think he's ready for Bayern. He needs to give me another season at Leipzig where he does something. Then I'll go, all right, you did something for me. You can come to Bayern. But for now, I think he can be why not stay at Leipzig on loan as a star man and just build your profile? Leverkusen just signed Alex Garcia. He's a 26-year-old midfielder from Girona. Who's that, bruh? They just be signing any. Well, actually, he might be a bowler, and I'm over here joking. Let me see. Who's this Alex? Is this someone we should have signed? Okay, I'm already seeing pressure evasions, ball getting flicked over people's heads. Okay, so he's kind of like a Palacios. That makes sense. He's not like Zaka. That's so funny, man. They went and got a decent player. I mean, I don't know his like if he's full on really good, but it looks like he's okay. He's like a all-round midfielder. Oh, what a goal. Yeah, I mean, Leverkusen are just bro, that's great business. They're gonna pay 20 million for him, or 15 to 20 million. Bro, we're over here still crying. Yo, they're walking into next season as favorites. If we're not careful, these guys are gonna win it 2 years in a row, and we're gonna be sitting and they're gonna be in a Champions League final in our own stadium. By the way, people think that's a funny statement from the Leverkusen CEO who said he thinks he wants his club to be in the Champions League. Bro, they could really do it, man. Those guys could really be in the Champions League final. They lost one game this season. Oh, bruh, they should have won that Europa League final, man. Alonso screwed them over with those stupid decisions not to play with strikers. Oh, by the way, Holstein Kiel is in the Bundesliga. St. Pauli, oh my gosh. When did they get good? They're in the league now. Boy, what the heck, boy? What's happening? Wow. St. Pauli. That's cool. Hey, good for them. They won the second Bundesliga. Wow. That's interesting. I mean, they're probably going to get cooked and relegated again, but good for them. Good for them. What if they turn out to be like the next Union Berlin? By the way, Union Berlin, where are they at? Did they get relegated yet? How does a club make Champions League football and just not have any level of ambition? Bro, this is why the Bundesliga needs money, man. Because a guy like players like the level of players they have, they should be playing Champions League, man. The way they just blew up the league, almost pulled off an impossible miracle and won it. They had so many games won, and then they just declined because you need quality. Because they got found out, they couldn't keep doing their luck ball. Oh, imagine if some American hedge fund manager with $20 billion in his bank account was like, all right, I'll buy a German team, right? And he found out his parents had ancestry to Berlin, Germany. And so now he's gonna buy Union Berlin. Bro, that guy would have poured like $80 billion. Like he could have just poured a billion into building like we need money in this sport, man. And then but fan owned, nah, bro. We came this close to amending 50+1. The Bundesliga was gonna sell imaging rights, or was it commercial rights? I don't know. They were gonna sell some rights to get like 2 billion or something for the league. They had bankers in America, like banks willing to buy those image rights so they could basically they were selling part of the league, like part of the league's revenue for immediate cash that would have been pumped into clubs. That should have happened, man. I don't know. It's like these clubs just don't want to succeed. 50+1 has got to go, man. I know the Bundesliga is on top right now doing its thing, but once those Prem teams come and collect Palacios, Grimaldo, like once that happens, as it usually does, once Witz leaves, Leverkusen are back to average. But if they had some money, bro, they would give Witz a 40 million a year contract, and he would never leave. Television. Oh, it was TV rights. Okay, 8% for 1 billion, bro. That's a lot, man. Union Workers FC. That's actually a funny name for them. Klopp returns to Mainz and 35 billion owner. Yeah, Mainz would be a hilarious. Imagine Mainz in the Champions League, bro. That would be funny. See, if I'm Jurgen Klopp, like, what do you do after Liverpool? By the way, Klopp is such a baby, bro. He's still making videos like, oh, I miss it, bro. Like, let it go, bro. Let it go, big dog. You still see these videos from him where he's just like, he's crying. I love Klopp. I think he's like, my man's going paddling. Like, why? I thought you were going on vacation. Why are you going paddling? My man's playing tennis. He's doing bro. Just go to Marbella or something, like one of those. Go to Hawaii, man. Go to Miami for a week, right? Go get you some air. Like, you've been in England for so, bro. Go somewhere, do something, man. Go outside, go on a hike. You have no life, man. What is Klopp doing? He's just pulling up in more random places than a pimple. It's crazy. Go take a rest and know that, hey, big clubs are going to come calling. I just feel like Klopp's going to end up at Madrid at some point. I can just sniff it. Or PSG. I don't think he's going to want to go to PSG, though. Too much money. I think Klopp is genuinely the kind of guy to follow a project. So if you gave Klopp a project like, hey, Jurgen, we're going to do this. We want to spend this kind of money. And this is our 5-year plan. He's the kind of guy to do it. Most managers are going to be like, no, shrink that 5 years to one season. Sign everyone you were going to sign in 5 years right now. Yeah, Klopp wouldn't do that, though. Are you coaching in like a Sunday league or what? Yesterday, I played with my Indians, man. Hey, there's this 10-year-old kid that's really good. Like, now, of course, these are Indian, like literally 50-year-old dudes and some 20, some like at least 5 people are my age, like, young. So it's the old people's kids. Bro, I stunk it out yesterday, man. My touch was awful. I came an hour late. I stunk it out, bro. Ah, my competitive spirit came back. Bro, I would get in good spaces and all I need is the perfect pass. And I just don't. I was hitting the ball on the opponent's legs. Like, I played like Goretzka, man. Like the other week, I thought I was back. I'm so stiff now because of the gym. I need to stop going to the gym. I got to be fat like you guys. But I stunk it out, bro. Ah, man. Like the ball would come to me, and it's like I believe I'm gonna control it. I already have an idea of what I want to do, and then I'll miss the touch. Like, you know what I mean? Like now I gotta chase after this ball. Oh my gosh, it was so annoying, so annoying, man. I gotta get now I get this urge to just go out and practice, my touch again. Indians, yeah, my Punjabis, bruh. Those people, they were. It's like a community. I just pulled up to the field is like 30 seconds from my house. It's turf. They have goals. Man, I love America, man. You guys are scared. Oh, guns, bro. Guns are amazing, bro. I'm about to own like 50 at some point. But they were calling me American Limer, man. Bro, I was actually playing like Limer. Like I was just running around, bro. Running around applying pressure. But man, like my dribbles, I mean, a lot of them came off. I tried, bro. I saw the nutmeg. I wanted to nutmeg their defender because they needed a goal. They knew I could score, so they were like, "George, go up, stop playing midfield, go score. We need a goal." It was 2-2. I did end up creating the goal, like going through me and this older guy. We got an own goal. Basically, I slid the ball to him. But this old dude, man, I was putting him on. Maybe you know what it was? Maybe I didn't believe in my team, man. Because there was this one pass where I slid him through. Like it was one of those Musiala passes where like pow, man. I cut the entire defense. And this man went with the ball and when he had a Timo Werner. He had a collision with the goal. I was like, bro, it's a simple finish. But yeah, the game ended up 3-3 from us winning 3. So man, there were so many runs that I could have just made that pass. Like there was a pass where, like of course as a midfielder, like I came from the attack, I recognize the space, and I get in between, and like I'm in the middle. I believe in my touch, but for some reason I was like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm just gonna like so the player passes the ball to me, and I was just like, I don't want this ball. So I just pass it. I think I'm passing it to him with my left foot. So I just touch it with my left foot, which is not my strong foot. I should have just brought the ball under control and turned. But man, I was playing with nerves, man. I was not cooking yesterday, bro. I was, dude. I I fumbled like Manuel Neuer versus Real Madrid a month ago, or it was this month, bro. Crazy. Yeah, I sold. I sold. Yeah, it was not. It was. You get cooked these. No, but I mean, look, my qualities are there, man. The touch yesterday, because the other week I was cooking. I was doing monstrous things. I think I scored or it was 2 goals and 3 assists. Like the team scored 10 goals. I was involved in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And I came late, like bro, and I was playing in midfield. So that's your level, George. Don't work it out. No, no. I would probably. I think what it was. I mean, when I was in high school, look. I didn't have money, or I didn't have a car. That's one. But I also didn't have a ride. So the reason this manager, this coach, I hated my coach. He just didn't understand. Like I couldn't on game day, I was cooking, but I didn't need to show up for training sessions because I didn't have a ride. No one to drive me home. So I would legit just not show up to training. This guy would put me on the bench, and then when I get on the field, I'm the best player again. And then he's like, "Damn, like I shouldn't have put George on the bench." Yeah, there was this one game where this girl that she had a stupendous crush on me, man. She was like obsessed. She actually showed up to support me. So I didn't show up to training for like 2 days, but the coach had no. He had to play me, and I cooked my heart out, man. Oh man, I nutmegged someone to slid my teammate through from the midfield position, and these blind old freaks said it was offside. It was. I still remember that was never offside, man. That was my I cooked in that game. And then the moment where I'm about to get my assist, I dribble through pressure, I carry the ball forward, and it's a sexy ball like Tony Kroos against Bayern. Pow. And this freaking linesman, this Stevie Wonder, raises his flag and says offside. How? It was like it when I say it wasn't offside, I genuinely mean it was never offside. My teammate was not offside. I had a similar moment. I had a similar skip in training. What is yeah, my man said what a mentality. Look, I didn't look. So let's say we had 3 training sessions. I would show up to 1 or 2, but never all of them in a week. Cuz one, I'm not one of these, kids that thinks they're going to be professional. I'm doing this for fun, right? But I'm also not bad at the sport, but I also don't have a ride. So when someone in my family could drive me to, or because I would get on the school bus. That's how I'd go home. Wait, do you Europeans have school buses? Yeah, you live in like cubicles, so you really don't need a bus for anything. You guys live on like 2 acres of land. Yeah, I would need a school bus that would like we had. You guys don't have school bus. Oh my gosh, you guys had no lives, man. No wonder you're so miserable by the time you're 50. You don't have school buses, man. Wait, someone said, of course you have school bus. Oh, you do? Okay, never mind. You're not miserable. You guys are cool. I don't imagine. I think English people get on the subway, right? Don't you British people get on the subway after school to go home? You have them there in Bavaria? Okay. So that was how I got home. But here's the thing. There's no school bus for after school activities. So the bus driver, like as soon as school ends, those buses line up. You have your bus that you get to and it has its route. So it's going to go to the neighborhood you live in. It's going to drop some kids off here at this stop. The next group of kids are going to be dropped off at this stop, and then the next group of kids are going to be dropped off here. And so you kind of have so my stop would be so it would take me 20 minutes to get home. It was great. I didn't realize how much I didn't appreciate school buses, but now I realize how great it was. And then so I went to an early college high school. For the people that don't know, I was a dork, meaning I wanted to be in college. Oh, university. Like I was like taking college classes my first year of high school. I was such a nerd. So what happened was with because I went to a school so far away, that school had a bus going to this other school, and then I'd wait to at that other school for those kids to get out, and it'd take like 5 minutes. Then I'd hop into the new bus that came in. It was like it's so smart. It's like there's a bus network. Someone said I missed the entire conversation. All right, cool, bro. I'm not restarting this thing, man. Is the Bayern View live? Let me see if I can pop in. By the way, you know what one thing I don't like about you Europeans? You guys always comment on our public transportation. Oh, why are they so car dependent? Bro, if I want to drive my 2 cars, I will. Like what is that how does it bother you? Like is your life changed by the fact that I like driving? You guys sit in trains with the same scenery every single day. You're underground. I get in my car. I could get on 50 different roads, see different things. Like, come on, bruh. Don't ever compare the fact. And I love highways, man. When it's clear at night, you're driving 150 miles an hour, bro. You're listening to music. FC Bayern. I don't listen to those songs, but yeah, I'm just saying, if I was, it'd be cool. But you're enjoying life. Like, why are you guys obsessed with like, oh, why do they have big parking lots? Bro, because we want to have big parking lots. It's so cool. It's like life's good when you drive yourself, man. But it is annoying when there is traffic. It's like, oh, there's no, and then like I see these TikToks that infuriate me. Some dude from Europe is gonna go to some, because this country's big, man. You guys are used to going to 3 countries in the same day. You couldn't go to 3 states in the same day here. You drive for 6 hours and you're still in the same state. Like, that's crazy. But like, some Europeans is gonna go. He's gonna go to like a highway and start and try to walk, and they're like, American cities are not walkable. That's a freaking highway. It was created for cars, right? And there's a reason they're always lifted over the city. Like, every highway here is elevated. It's literally created for travel between states and between cities. The real walkable areas are the downtowns where you have sidewalks everywhere and you have big giant walking places. Like, why are you in a random, and then they'll go to some random neighborhood and be like, oh, why don't Americans walk? Like, we have sidewalks, of course, right? But they're surprised that people aren't out. You're in your house because you want to be at home. Why would you go home and then be outside? That makes no sense. You spent the entire day outside, you're back home, and then guess what? We have backyards. You guys probably don't even know what that is. You think of, you're confused. Backyard is the house, is like the outside of your house only for you. Or like, if you live where I live, my neighbors and I share like, when I say we share, my backyard's here, their backyard's there. Like, it's just open, there's no fences, right? But it's our different spots. So that is my version of going outside. I'm not going to walk outside. Why would I do that? If I wanted to do that, what, do you know how weird it is to just walk around? Like, no, I could drive, bro. I could drive. I go to my gym. It's right there. I'm driving. I'm driving to the giant parking lot. Nah, I'm just annoyed that someone said global warming. Shut up, bro. I'm waiting on the Bayern View to send me the link on Twitter. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Oh, man. I'm not logged into the BayernNow account. Oh, my gosh. I thought he was. I'm not logged in. That's why. I was like, why isn't this man sending me the link? Now Bayern. Bro, what did Elon do with my passwords? I had like 4 accounts on here. They're all. Oh, there we go. There we go. My bad. My bad. Here we go. All right. Let's go to the Bayern View. You guys are going to see me on there in 5 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. iCarly. Okay, here. Bayern. Bayern View. There we go. There we go. Wait, is it? Yep. Is it? Okay. See you guys then.